You can go back. This is my audience. It was selection time for high school varsity boys basketball team Michael's sophomore year. And his name, it wasn't called. This moment changed his life forever. In April of 2009, the boy that did not make the varsity team as a sophomore in high school received one of basketball's greatest honors. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Attending this ceremony was very tough for Michael, and he concluded his speech on why it was tough for him. Quote, "This is an award symbolizing that my basketball career is completely over," end quote. This statement is true, but the way he played will be remembered forever. There are many ways I could stand up here and inform you about this great athlete, but I want to do so in a way that could lead you to remember the events and how this man got to what he is today. In doing so, I'll explain to you his early life as a youngster, his career in sports, and finish up with the awards and honors that this man has received. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born in Brooklyn, New York on February 17, 1963. He was the fourth of 5 children to James and Dolores Jordan. His father was a mechanic in Brooklyn and his mother was a bank teller. Soon after his birth, his parents decided that the streets of Brooklyn were not safe to raise a family of 5 kids, so they moved to Wilmington, North Carolina. Although everybody thinks of this man as a basketball player, when he was just a youngster, baseball was his true love. He would spend countless hours in the backyard playing catch with his dad. But once he got into high school, his love changed to the game of basketball. Even though he failed to make the teams as a sophomore, like I mentioned earlier, this is the fuel he needed to start the fire. This event made Michael determined and dedicated to the game because he knew he couldn't just show up and be the best. He had to work, and if he grew a little, the tables would turn. Michael did just this his senior year of high school. He was presented with every kid's dream that has a love for the game of basketball. A full-ride scholarship to the University of North Carolina to play under Coach Dean Smith. Michael went from being a nobody to a rising star in high school sports. But nobody really knew how great he would become. Michael's first year at North Carolina is where he really made a name for himself. There was a national championship game his freshman year, and he was called upon to take the game-winning shot. He made it. It only took off from there. He was then the NCAA Player of the Year his following 2 years, led the scoring as well. With a colorful college career under his belt and looking to a bright future in the NBA, he decided it was time to move on and see what the next level had to offer. He left North Carolina after his junior year and was selected by the Chicago Bulls in the first round of the 1984 draft as the 3rd pick. If you guys know how the NBA draft works at all, the worst team in the league gets the 1st pick, 2nd worst, so on. He was the 3rd pick. It means he didn't go to a very good team. He knew that being the 3rd pick overall, he'd have some work to do to keep up his winning reputation. He accepted the challenge, though, and the program loved him. His incredible jumping ability and his hang time thrilled fans, as well as his fearless play. He was named to the All-Star team and later named the Rookie of the Year. From this point on, his NBA career absolutely took off. As stated in Celebrity 9, Awards and Achievements, Michael was awarded the Most Valuable Player 5 times. The NBA Finals Most Valuable Player 6 times. Defensive Player of the Year once, Rookie Player of the Year, and even tossed in 2-time NBA Dunk Champion. He is easily one of the most decorated players of all time with these individual awards. The kid that a long time ago was faced with some challenges can now sit back and realize what life does, that if you fight through the struggles, if you're thick-skinned enough to brush them off and overcome them, good things will happen. Michael's career will never be forgotten, but most importantly, the story that got him to where he is now is what I think is the most important. Even if you don't have anything to do with sports, there's some things you can take out of them. For a prime example, hard work and dedication, just what those 2 things can grant you. Are you going to give up when a conflict or struggle arises, or fight through and experience all the good things that can come out of it?